I conducted my service learning project at the Weston Board of Health located in the town hall. Wendy Diatalevi, public health director, and Sharon Bonica, office manager, served as my mentors. While there, I had the opportunity to learn tons about public health and the importance of it in our community. First off, the Board of Health has a multitude of responsibilities within the town, which include monitoring the health status of the community as a whole in order to recognize and solve health problems, diagnosing and investigating health hazards in the community, informing and educating the community about health problems, creating policies and plans that support individual and/or community health efforts, enforcing laws that are designed to protect our health and keep the community safe, helping to connect some residents to personal health services, making sure that the Board of Health retains a skilled and prepared group of employees, and to evaluate quality, accessibility, and effectiveness of personal and community health services in order to better them in the future. More specifically, the Board of Health is responsible for vaccinations, emergency preparedness, granting several permits, as well as many other random permits, approving additions and renovations, asbestos/health checks on homes, possible lead inspections, as well as septic systems. However, in my time there, I was incredibly surprised to learn just how significant the septic system is to ensuring the well-being of the community. I wanted to do a thorough investigation on their importance to Weston. So, I asked, why and how do septic systems play an integral role in public health? Well, septic systems are a type of on-site sewage facility. They are used in communities that do not have access to a larger sewage facility like in large towns or cities. Every single house in Weston has a septic system. The septic system is responsible for disposing of human waste. This includes everything we flush down our toilets, whatever goes to the garbage disposal, and really anything that goes down some sort of drain in the household. This waste travels to the septic tank where it is then decomposed by anaerobic bacteria. The bacteria does a good job disposing of waste, but it cannot eliminate all of it. The remaining waste is drained into a leach field and is trapped and finally eliminated in the soil. The remaining water either evaporates, is absorbed by the soil, or is taken into the roots of different plants. Scum and sludge eventually builds up, and the septic tank must be pumped every 3 to 5 years. Human waste could contain several forms of harmful bacteria or diseases. Without the proper disposal of this waste, an entire community could be at risk of sickness. Maintaining your septic system is essential to not only your own health, but your neighbors as well. So, maintaining the septic system. Septic systems should be pumped routinely once every 2 to 3 years, but yearly if you have children or a garbage grinder. You should maintain plumbing fixtures to avoid leaks, because leaking fixtures can inundate your soil absorption system with more than 3 times what it was designed to handle, causing the system to fail. You should also inspect your septic system components every 5 to 10 years to ensure proper function. When is an inspection required? Well, when either the property is sold, when you're adding a bathroom or living space, or if an individual suspects that the septic system is not performing properly. The septic system is considered to be a failure if the leach facility is in the groundwater table or the leach facility is hydraulically failed or plugged. The new system is required when the septic system fails the inspection or when adding a new bedroom. Proper use of the septic system. There are many things you don't want to flush down your toilets and drains to avoid causing any problems with the septic system. You should not flush fats or oils, kitty litter, paper towels, baby wipes, medicines, paints and chemicals, latex products, or feminine products. The anaerobic bacteria in the septic system does not decompose these products very well and could either clog the septic system or spew products that haven't been fully decomposed into the leach field. This is very bad. Additionally, a clogged septic system could lead to it actually pumping sewage back into the home. You should know where all the parts of your septic system are located. You should avoid placing structures like decks, patios, play sets, or sheds over any of the system structures. This will make it much easier and less costly when either having to replace the system or perform an inspection. Repairing and replacing it. So, you should hire a sanitarian, engineer, or soil evaluator for soil testing. The engineer or sanitarian will determine the possible locations for a septic system on your property with consideration for proximity of wetlands, drains, presence of ledge, landscape features, etc. Then you should apply for a soil test date with the Board of Health. What happens in a soil test? During a soil test, they will conduct 2 deep test holes to determine if ledge is present and the depth to groundwater. Then, 2 percolation tests will be conducted to determine the porosity of the soil, which determines how many square feet of leaching or draining area is needed for that septic system. Your septic system design is up to the engineer or sanitarian. They will design a plan that meets Title V's requirements and submit it to the Board of Health for review and approval. A Title V is a list of criteria and requirements for the septic system that must be met before it can be installed. Installation. You must obtain a permit to construct the septic system. Once the Board of Health approves the plan, you must choose a licensed septic installer. Only licensed septic installers can receive permits to install septic systems. Generally speaking, the septic system is installed in around 1 or 2 weeks. The Board of Health, along with the hired engineer or sanitarian, will survey and inspect during the installation process in order to make sure it adheres to the rules of Title V. Finally, an as-built plan is constructed by the designer. This plan will show the location of every part of the septic system, as well as their locations relative to the surrounding aspects of the property. Finally, you must receive a certificate of compliance. When the installation of the septic system is complete, the installer must submit a certification statement and materials documentation to the Board of Health, and the designer must submit the as-built to the Board of Health. Now, my experience at the Board of Health. The majority of my time there was spent working to reorganize and record the septic tank plans for every house in Weston. There are multiple shelves in the Board of Health that are completely stuffed with old documents, and each one represents a single property in Weston. The Board of Health decided to make the switch from physical documents to digital copies stored in a computer. My job was to go through each of these documents and find the as-built of each property, which, as I stated earlier, is basically a septic tank drawing that shows its location in regards to other parts of the house. Upon locating the as-built, my job was to then scan it onto a computer. Finally, I would move the scanned as-built into the corresponding folder by street name. Finding these septic tank plans can be an absolute pain, as they don't come in just one form. They come in all different shapes and sizes. Sometimes these documents are drawn out on 40-inch long blueprint paper, some can be found on a basic sheet of paper, and others come in very small sizes. Not only this, but some use names apart from the standard term as-built. There could also be several as-builts within a single document, or as-builts that have only been proposed but not yet approved. It is crucial to locate the correct as-built for scanning. If the wrong as-built is scanned, then the location of a septic tank system could be unknown. Making sure the files are up to date is important for homeowners seeking renovations and different companies involved in construction. For example, if the currently filed location of a property's septic tank is incorrect, then workers trying to replace it would dig in the wrong spot, ultimately costing them more money than originally intended. Through my work, I've gained a lot of valuable skills that will be applicable in the real world. I've had the opportunity to work with several different people at the Board of Health, and nearly all of them have had some sort of advice to give me, whether it be work-related or other. Furthermore, the majority of these people were much older than myself, which I believe has helped with my social skills in the workroom and will benefit me in future endeavors. The only real challenges were technology related. Sometimes the printers and scanners malfunctioned. Many of the files I had to scan were also extremely old and fragile, which caused for blurry scanned images and the potential to rip when going through the machine. Overall, I've learned that I'm quite a patient person and I'm very successful in connecting with employers. I've also learned to not be afraid to ask questions, as it will only help me to do my job better and more efficiently. At this point, I'm proficient in using several functions of the scanner, printer, as well as the copier. This will be beneficial when entering the work world, as these are most likely to be used in several lines of work, especially entry-level jobs. While this may not be the most exciting job, it is absolutely necessary. There are actually several people that benefit from the work I have been doing and actually reaches out further than one might expect. The other employees at the Board of Health are often tasked with several different jobs to be done at once, and the simple filing and scanning, tasked with several different jobs, takes a lot out of their time. It can get very tedious and time consuming, so by doing this, we are enabling them to do their jobs more efficiently.